All right, guys, so we're outside of a Pavilions, which is kind of like an Albertsons slash Vons, and we're gonna go inside, we're gonna shop for fat loss. All right, so this is like a legit, big, typical supermarket where you look around and the vast majority of products that you'll find in the aisles are ultra-processed foods, but some of those foods can be really supportive of meeting your health goals. And of course, on the perimeter, you tend to find lots of fresh, perishable food. So let's try to find a mix of both to appease a diet that doesn't feel restrictive, that is supportive of meeting fat loss and muscle building goals. And yeah, we'll see what Pavilions can offer in that regard. What's this? All right, so I'm not gonna buy this, but chicken liver is one of my favorite foods. I probably just scared off half of the audience. I'm not gonna pick it up, but chicken liver is actually amazing. Beef liver, chicken liver, incredibly nutrient dense organ meats, and if you are averse to strongly flavored organ meats, like if you've tried beef liver and you're just not into it, chicken liver is actually way more palatable. And in my books, I have a recipe that I borrowed from my friend Mary Shanuda, aka the Paleo Chef, called Bangin' Liver. It's in my cookbook and it's in Genius Foods, and it's one of the most delicious recipes ever. And it utilizes chicken liver, which is an amazing source of myriad micronutrients, also of protein. So I'm just like a huge fan of chicken liver. But I'm not gonna buy it today. Nonetheless, definitely worth considering. So I'm like a huge fan. I think poultry is amazing. As a general rule of thumb, if you are tracking your macros, you want to weigh your meat raw, which is typically where you're going to get the best estimate of your macros. So yeah, weighing your meat raw, super effective, and it's also great to meal prep. So like chicken breast, for example, obviously super lean, but you can also buy skinless chicken thighs and whatnot, tend to be a bit more flavorful. And chicken thighs are actually also a great source of vitamin K2, which is not something that most people know. I actually got that tip from Chris Masterjohn, who is a nutrition PhD, also a friend of mine. Dark meat chicken is a great source of vitamin K2. Who knew? You guys already know, big fan of Kevin's. They don't sponsor me, but nonetheless, love it. Chicken tikka masala, so good. I'm gonna pick some of that up. Lemongrass chicken, wow, so good. Let's go. Yo, ribs, huge fan. Love ribs, not super conducive to a cutting phase because they are a fattier meat, but slow cooking ribs. I have a recipe, another shameless plug for my cookbook. I have a recipe for ribs in my cookbook, Genius Kitchen, that is 10 out of 10. Very easy to make. You wouldn't think that they'd be so easy to make, but you can just make them in an oven and they come out incredible. Red meat. Y'all know that I'm a big fan of red meat, highly nutrient dense food. And if you're on a budget, just opt for leaner cuts and go for the cheaper cuts, which can, sometimes can be really tough, but if you know how to prepare them properly, they come out perfectly. Like, for example, chuck pot roast. Like, this is actually a cheaper cut of meat, but if you just cook it low and slow, like in a crock pot, it comes out so good. You can make like a stew, a roast, really 10 out of 10. We can't let perfect be the enemy of the good. And I mean, red meat is such a nutrient-dense food, such an incredible source of protein. It's also worth pointing out, a lot of people are typically afraid of the saturated fat contained in red meat, but it's worth noting that only 3% of the saturated fat that your average American consumes comes from unprocessed red meat, excluding mixed dishes. So when we talk about like mixed dishes, We're talking about burritos, lasagna, pasta dishes, pizza. Unprocessed red meat, excluding mixed dishes, accounts for only 3% of the saturated fat ingested by your average American. So it's really not anything to be worried about. Now, once we get into really like excessively fatty cuts of meat, that's when, you know, we're pushing saturated fat intake to, you know, maybe meaningfully high levels, but that's typically not what most people are consuming. And, you know, once in a blue moon, I wouldn't even worry about it, regardless. If it makes up you know, like an indulgence food to have like a fatty burger every now and then, not a huge deal. Beef tallow. This is something that, very controversial food these days. I'm not a huge fan of using beef tallow. I see no reason to add added fats to my diet, and when I am adding fats, either to dress my food with or to cook food with, I'm not using beef tallow. I'm using primarily an unsaturated fat like extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil. Beef tallow, I see no real reason to add extra beef fat to my diet. I think that there's a lot of dogma and dogmatic thinking when it comes to like beef tallow and whatnot. I mean, I think there are some good uses for it. I think as like a form of skincare, it's great, like as a moisturizer, but I'm not like trying to add extra beef tallow to my diet. Yes. Superfood right here. Again, this whole notion that we have to be dogmatically tied to higher fat grinds of beef is ridiculous. 93% lean is amazing, highly satiating. 140 calories, 24 grams of protein in 140 calories, that's incredible. That's absolutely amazing from a macro standpoint. This will get you shredded. I sometimes will just like throw a bit of taco seasoning, you know, into the pan with my ground beef and eat it over rice, maybe a little bit of salsa. It's like a perfect meal. So yeah, I'm about it. And the difference is, like, if we compare 85% lean, yeah, this might taste a little bit more indulgent when used to make a burger, but look at the difference in calories. Comparing 4 ounces to 4 ounces, 140 calories to 220 calories. Like, this is perfectly sufficient to make almost any recipe with, including burgers, by the way. And you're saving a significant amount of calories. Like, pound for pound, this contains almost 400 additional calories, the fattier version. So we're gonna put that back, and then we're gonna opt for the leaner variety. The Hispanic food section. Okay, so taco seasoning, this stuff is great. I always keep some of this on hand. No affiliation with Siete, but this is a great option. And I'll just make ground beef, and I'll put some taco seasoning like into the meat, stir it up, maybe throw some like sliced jalapeno peppers on it. It's like a perfect meal. Some hot sauce. Speaking of which, yeah, let's get some. I need some hot sauce. Tabasco, no Tabasco, Tapatio. This is like the lamest hot sauce in my opinion. It's just like hot sauce with no personality. You into it, Jordan? No. Cholula's good. Cholula's fire. I've got Cholula at home. Tabasco or Cholula, I think, but that's like, I just don't get it. I don't know. Soy sauce, yeah. Gluten-free, non-GMO, organic. Where's the organic? This is the organic? Yeah. Yes. That's what's up. Very useful to have in the house. I order sushi all the time. And by default, I eat a gluten-free diet. I'm not celiac. I don't think that there's anything inherently wrong with gluten. The data supports that. However, in general, I don't eat a lot of, I just naturally don't gravitate to foods that contain gluten, with the exception of perhaps sourdough bread and stuff like that. So when I eat sushi at home, I like to have some gluten-free organic soy sauce or tamari sauce on hand. Tamari sauce is also great I use it in various recipes, like I'll make my own cucumber sunomono at home, which is great. Maybe I'll share the recipe for that in my newsletter. I use a little bit of tamari sauce in natto, which is one of my favorite fermented soybean dishes, which is fantastic. And yeah, it just like, it's great to have as like a flavor enhancer at home. Yeah, seaweed is fantastic. I generally, some of these don't use the best oils. So if you look on the back, you know, you just want to make sure that, like, these are all, I think, fried in a little bit of sunflower oil. I prefer like an avocado oil. But in general, seaweed and sea vegetables are great for you. Great source of iodine typically. Like I talked about a sunomono dish that I make sometimes. I'll use dulse seaweed flakes, which is a very great, abundant source of iodine, which I don't use iodized salt typically. I use like Redmond's real salt or like, flake salt, Maldon flake salt as a finishing salt. So yeah, dulse and other sea vegetables, great way to like nori kelp, great way to like add some iodine to your diet. Dude, what?
It's healthy.
I mean, but how good is that? Probably. Like I'm not gonna buy it, bro. I mean, this is like Red 40 City. Like this is like, yeah, I mean, the ingredients are kind of a train wreck, but like you have to admit that it looks like it's probably banging. Throw some ground beef in there, Damn. No, but what I was going to point out, I actually do enjoy, like, where is it? Like, Bonza or something? Where's the Bonza? Yeah, like something like this. Like, I think these can be fine. Like, if you're amenable to the ingredients, buying a box mac and cheese, I wouldn't eat solely that for dinner, but you can saute up some lean beef to jack up the protein a little bit, add some high quality protein and nutrients to, one of these like boxed mac and cheese dishes. And it's like a 10 out of 10 dinner. Like kids love it. I love it. And so, like this stuff can be good. And I grew up eating this stuff. I'm sure I'm not alone. I grew up eating that. But like, as you get older, you start to like appreciate higher quality ingredients, organic, because like if you're eating a wheat-based noodle, maybe it's worth it to you to prioritize organic, because in this country, glyphosate is used as a desiccant to dry out wheat. So, maybe you want to buy organic. I don't know if it's within reach for you, but then add some ground beef to the mix, and it's like a 10 out of 10 dinner. It's super easy to make. Rice. I'm a huge fan. Rice. I eat rice all the time. Rice is great. Very easy to digest source of starch, of complex carbohydrates. And yeah, there's nothing inherently wrong with carbs. Rice is a great carbohydrate option. And white rice in particular, the nutritional value between white rice and brown rice is not that significant. That to me, it's worth it to eat white rice instead of brown rice, because you're reducing your exposure to arsenic, unless you know exactly where the rice has been grown, which, most people are not, aware of that or don't have the time or the interest to really check that out. So for me, I buy white rice by default because you're reducing your exposure to arsenic, which can be contained in the bran of rice. Shout out to Hearts of Palm. Huge fan of Hearts of Palm. So good. Let's get a can. Hearts of Palm is great. I'll eat Hearts of Palm. You just basically like dump it into a bowl, drain the water, and then I just drizzle some balsamic vinegar on it. And it's like a really filling, fiber-rich vegetable, I believe. And it's just really tasty. It's pretty common in Brazilian cuisine. Like I know whenever I'm like at a Brazilian restaurant, they always offer Hearts of Palm. Maybe South American cuisines more broadly, tend to offer Hearts of Palm. But yeah, it's a fantastic food. There's nothing wrong with eating canned foods every now and then. I mean, the interiors of cans, unfortunately, are lined with plastic, but, the dose makes the poison. So So yeah, don't be afraid of canned foods. It reduces food waste and it's shelf stable. So, yo, I don't know how to pronounce this, but love it. Giardinaria? Giardinara? It's not area. It's Giardinara. Wow. Who knew? That's awesome. Shout out to Primal Kitchen. Quality. Although, you know, when you're on a cut, you don't necessarily need to add oil to your diet. So oh, these are great actually. So these are fantastic for people who are cutting. It's a great brand. I have no affiliation, but Walden Farms. Every bodybuilder is familiar with Walden Farms because they make 0-calorie dressings and condiments. You've got ranch. Look, 0-calorie ranch. I'm not saying they're great taste-wise, but they do the job. So when you're on a diet and you're trying to lose body fat, you have a finite calorie budget, right? So you still want to make sure that you're eating dark leafy greens, fibrous foods, vegetables that we know are healthy. So, you know, a 0-calorie ranch dipping sauce can kind of get you through and make palatable a healthy meal while not cutting too much into your calorie budget for the day. So not ideal under most circumstances because, you know, like Primal Kitchen ranch is obviously going to taste a lot better. But this has 0 calories. So for 0 calories, like, what do you want? You know, it's not going to be like 10 out of 10, but it's still pretty good. Tabasco is a must. Yeah, Tabasco's good. Get some Tabasco. Mustard is also a fantastic condiment for fat loss. 0 calories. And also very healthy. Mustard is a cruciferous vegetable. Mustard is typically colored. It's given its color thanks to turmeric, which is, you know, thought to be an anti-inflammatory herb or spice. Primal Kitchen ketchup is great. Like ketchup, I'm not anti-ketchup. Ketchup is fantastic. But you just want to generally, like, you know, with something like ketchup that you bring into your house, like I think it's worth it to have a higher quality version. Like I try to avoid the high fructose corn syrup, not because I think that there's anything, like metabolically, high fructose corn syrup and sucrose are very similar. High fructose corn syrup is typically about 55% fructose and 45% glucose. It's almost identical to pure table sugar. So, you know, without making specific claims about high fructose corn syrup, I just generally like, you know, I think it's worth it to, you know, stock your home with higher quality ingredients, you know, maybe organic, lower sugar varieties, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You kind of want to, I mean, some people might choose to avoid the no sugar added because they supplement the sugar with artificial sweeteners. So you just want to be careful. You just want to look at the ingredients list. You know, for example, this no sugar added probably has sucralose in it. It doesn't. Wow, I'm pleasantly surprised. It used to. But yeah, this Heinz no sugar added now is sweetened with stevia. Good job, Heinz. That's awesome. Yeah, I didn't even know that. It's fantastic. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this stuff. This is all like super processed. Like, I don't even know. I like haven't even. This is not the kind of thing that I would even pick up typically, but it's just like it's giving hardcore ultra processed. Like this is basically like 560 calories per container, 11 grams of protein. That is not a lot of protein in a 560 calorie container. And all of the protein is coming from corn protein, wheat flour, gluten, which are not super high quality sources of protein. So yeah, I would skip that. I would skip, yeah, most of these. There is a brand that makes a very good instant ramen, and the brand is called Chroma or Korma. I believe it's Chroma, Kroma. Gluten-free instant ramen using bone broth. It's very good. But I don't think that they're at retail, so I think you've got to order them just like from their website. And I have no affiliation with them. Just a good, solid company. What else we got? A1 is really good. One of my favorite steak sauces. Smoked salmon is really one of my favorite things to eat with eggs. I know as a Jew I'm supposed to like it with the bagel and cream cheese, but it's never really been my thing. But smoked salmon is really good with like some over easy eggs. Really, really tasty. Fun fact about raisins. Raisins are one of the top sources of boron, which is really good for bone strength and can help reduce sex hormone binding globulin. There was one or two small studies that have shown this, that boron as a supplement can help increase free testosterone in the body. And raisins, interestingly, are a very high source, very good source of boron. Should we grab some? Yeah, let's grab some. Grab some raisins, little like single serve packs. Look at that. I feel like I'm 12. Cooking sprays are fantastic. What's up?
Are all of them fantastic?
Yeah, I mean, not all of them are fantastic. I would typically avoid like the canola oil, the dreaded seed oils. Yeah, I mean, the only oils that I'm using in my kitchen are extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil. No affiliation with this brand, although it is a good brand. But generally, for low to medium heats, I would use extra virgin olive oil spray, which adds just enough lipid to add a non-stick quality to your food, or maybe coat some dark leafy greens with fats to help the absorption of the fat-soluble nutrients that they contain. Or if I'm cooking at higher temperatures, I would use an avocado oil. Both are primarily unsaturated fats, which are very good from a cardiovascular standpoint. So that's what I would use. And sprays are remarkably efficient. They deliver just enough fat to get the job done, but without adding significant calories to the meal. So yeah, sprays are amazing. And you can actually measure sprays you can measure the amount of fat that you're using with a spray by putting your spray on a digital food scale, zeroing it out, and then spraying. And however many negative grams the food scale shows is how many grams of fat you've essentially added to your food. I want to see if maybe I can point out, like, because high oleic sunflower oil is actually not bad. It's just not as common. Vinegars, I'm a huge fan of vinegar of any sort. Balsamic vinegar, tarragon vinegar, red wine vinegar. Red wine vinegar is great for if you're making like a Greek salad dressing. Red wine vinegar is incredible. Rice vinegar is really good for, I make my own, as I mentioned, cucumber sunomono, which is like a Japanese cucumber salad. Really, really tasty. Vinegar has a lot of health benefits. Really good for helping to reduce blood sugar spikes. If you have glucose regulation issues, adding vinegar to your diet can be a really helpful intervention potentially. And yeah, vinegar is just, in general, it's a fantastic preservative. Humans have been using vinegar for millennia. There's all these like healthy, quote unquote, sodas now on the market. Nixie is great. I'm a huge fan of Zevia. I have no affiliation. Zevia is a great soda brand. Uses like only stevia to sweeten their sodas with. I don't drink like a lot of this stuff, but there's no doubt that if you are on a cut or on a diet, that diet sodas are an incredible tool to use if you need that dopamine hit to help push you through, the next phase of your diet. Like when you reduce the hedonic quality of your food, which is important when it comes to, reducing the odds that you're going to overeat. You want to reduce the hedonic quality of your food while still keeping it enjoyable, of course. There is a bit of the sensation of reward that is lost, right? So to be able to supplement that sensation with diet soda, if that's what it's going to take to get you to better adhere to your diet, then, there's no shame in the game. I've heard this is really good. No affiliation. I've heard that was really good. There's a Shirley Temple, like 7-Up, that I've had. I don't know where it is. You see it? Oh, yeah. Yo. This is one of the best tasting beverages I've ever had in my whole life. And it's got all the bad things. It's got aspartame. It's got red 40. Don't tell RFK Jr., but this stuff is 10 out of 10. So yeah, like when you're on a diet, why deprive yourself of something like this, which is not gonna take you off course, right? It's just to supplement that dopamine that's lost when you're kind of, when you're restricting yourself. Like you have to restrict, you have to find the form of restriction that's going to feel the least restrictive to you to meet your goals. And, if sticking to your goals is going to be made easier by having a diet soda now and then, even if it's got all the quote unquote worst ingredients in it, then who cares? Who cares? You're going to have consumed some red 40, but you're going to be shredded in the process. YOLO, People just get so dogmatic. It's like soda. People can't fathom that you can consume a little bit of diet soda. And also there's some people believe that sugar sweetened soda is somehow better for you than diet soda. That's complete nonsense. That's complete lunacy. Yeah, I mean, sugar, you don't want to consume sugar-sweetened beverages. So there's no universe in which sugar-sweetened soda is better for you than diet soda. Diet soda is always going to be better for you than sugar-sweetened soda. Oh, these are the bomb. Got to pick up some Quest chips. Yo. Quest protein chips, no affiliation, but these are amazing. I eat these at night after dinner while watching whatever on Netflix. It's like a, snack that actually helps me meet my protein goals for the day. Tastes great. Is portion controlled. What's not to love, Yo, kefir is good. Kefir is really good. Do I need any right now? I don't think so, but it's very good. Kefir's great. I'm also trying to be very cognizant of food waste. I live by myself, so I'm not trying to waste food. 25 grams of protein? I don't know if I've tried these. Ratio protein? Yeah, so I mean, this contains a tiny amount of sucralose and sunflower oil, which it kind of kills me to consume yogurt that has added sunflower oil, even though the macros are great. The big picture macros, 170 calories, 25 grams of protein, that's pretty good. And this says it contains 2% or less of sunflower oil and sucralose and carrageenan. So I'm not saying that it's bad, but it's just the ingredients are not, I think we can do better, is what I'm trying to say. Oh, these are really good. These Chobani protein drinks. 30 grams of protein, vanilla ice cream flavored, 0 added sugar. Yeah, I'm about that. Get 2 of those. That's pretty good. Did you guys see this whole Vital Proteins controversy? Yeah, I mean, it was a big nothing burger. Vital Proteins, the eggs are great. Vital Proteins is a network of farms, and on their website they literally say that corn and soy is used as supplemental feed, which it often is for eggs. Egg producers will often, and beef producers as well, will often supplement feed with grains, which is unfortunate, but it's also I don't own chickens. I'm going to the supermarket to buy chickens. Are they misleading consumers with their marketing? I don't know. On their website, it literally says that the feed is often supplemented. So I don't think it's a big deal, but people were like, you know, the internet was in an uproar about it. What else? All right, let's get some produce, and then I think we're good. Where are those sumo oranges? Sumo, yeah. All right, so sumo oranges are incredible. They're a little bit pricey. Actually, I think they're technically tangerines, but they are so good. And here's a fun fact about sumo oranges, which you can identify, of course, by the big nipple that they each have. Even if the skin appears blemished, the fruit on the inside is going to be perfect. So don't be afraid of an ugly sumo orange. All sumo oranges deserve love, and they're so good. They're so easy to peel. It's one of their characteristic aspects about them. Very tasty. Dill pickle pistachios? Oh my God. Damn. That's how I would eat these. I would just like sit, I literally like, if I brought these into my house, I would get up off my couch to go to the pantry. I would extract this bag from the pantry. I would crack it open. I would return to the couch. And then mindlessly, while doom scrolling Netflix, I would shovel these into my face. And how many calories in a bag? 6 servings, 170 calories each. Yeah, probably around 1,000 calories. 1,000 calories of nuts, gone. Easy, just like that, within 5 minutes. Now, the cool thing about nuts, actually, and this is worth, I guess, pointing out, not all of the calories in nuts are available to your digestion. There was a USDA study that was published about 1.5 years ago that found that a significant proportion, about 30% of the calories on average of nuts, they pass through you. Because when you chew whole nuts, you're leaving particles intact that that are not fully broken down. When you puree or grind nuts and you turn them into a nut butter, then all bets are off. You absorb 100% of the calories of nut butter. But when you chew whole nuts, there's a significant proportion of the energy from nuts that these scientists were able to recover in stool, which suggests that not all of the calories that you consume when you're eating whole nuts are actually absorbed. All that being said, they're still a very calorie dense food, so you just want to be careful. Went on a fat loss phase. All right, I think we're good. I mean, there's not much else that I need, and I'm traveling later in the week, so yeah, I think we're good. Let's check out. We got hot sauce, we got some produce, we got some Greek yogurt, we've got some protein-rich tortilla chips, we've got some tamari sauce, hearts of palm, which I'm psyched about actually, and yeah, I think we did good. Those are some good savings.
120.
Yo, raisins, I am psyched about these. Look at this stir fry kit. Oh, this actually has the vegetables in it. Here, let me just compare, because this has the vegetables in it. This doesn't, so this is 100. I'm actually going to put this back. Yeah, this has a better protein to calorie ratio. So that I'm going to put back, but this I'm going to get. All right, so we got some epic food, super high protein options. We focused a lot on nutrient density, and I think we got some great deals in there as well. So I'm psyched about what we got. I hope this was illuminating for you guys. If you enjoy these videos, continue to let me know. I love the feedback. Let me know in the comments, and I'll do more. Peace.